JETPACK JOYRIDE is a side-scrolling endless runner action game, released by Half-Brick Studios in 2011. Just like many games from this studio, it was a massive hit and it's still popular today. I'm part of a challenge named the 20 Game Challenge, in which you recreate 20 existing games. In this video, I'll show you how I made JETPACK JOYRIDE in Godot. The first thing I did was to collect everything I learned about the game in a GDD, or a game design document. With that, I created all the tasks I needed to do in the form of GitHub issues and organized everything in a new GitHub project. I must admit that I had way too high ambitions when I first planned this out, and because of that the game took longer than it needed to. But yeah, I learned my lesson and will keep things simpler from now on. My first goal was to make a scrolling level. I played around with the resolution of the project while drawing the background pieces. I then had it stay stationary until you tap the screen, and then it started scrolling. Easy enough. The hardest part here was to stitch the parallax layers together, but I got it to work eventually. Next, the player. I found some blurry sprites I could use when I tried redrawing the character sprites. I kept it simple and just made the running and flying animations. I added some collisions and made him fly whenever you tap the screen. The particles are super simple, as you can see, but I'm not an expert with particles, and I didn't want to stay here for too long, so it was good enough. The first obstacle I added was the zapper. This too was super simple, with no animations or particles. I then made a first attempt in creating an interval spawning system for all obstacles, which I iterated on several times during the development. As in the original, I made the speed increase over time. I then made you lose if you hit an obstacle. Then the end screen appears, from which you can restart. As with all endless runners, you need to know how far you got. So now it was time to add a distance meter. You can see it here. While implementing that, I also needed to implement a save system to be able to save the score, among other things. While implementing this, I also implemented a save system to be able to save the score. I then made the game save your score if you reach the top 10. The end screen was modified to display this. Time for some coins. First, I recreated the sprites, made them collectible by the player, and added the UI to display the collected coins. They are, of course, also saved between sessions, and in the future, it would be cool to add power-ups or anything else you could buy with those coins. But yeah, a bit out of scope at the moment. The next thing to add was the pause menu. Simple, but yeah, now you can pause the game. After this, the game had more or less all the essentials, so I only needed some more variation and polish. So first, I added the missile to the game. And once again, I reiterated the spawning system to make it work. When I started to add the audio, I found a pack with all the original sound effects from the original game. Since this project took so long, I felt that I'd just go with that and started to add in the audio to the game using that pack. I also shamefully used the original soundtracks as well. Finally, I added a title to the start screen, a splash screen, and a game icon. Again, I shamefully used the original splash screen and icon. But yeah, this is just a bad clone for learning and nothing serious. Sorry, Half-Brick. And with that, it was done. Or at least playable. You can play the game on itch, and the source code can be found on GitHub. Both are linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!